Welcome to the Ripple Podcast.
The podcast where we tell you stories about strange and unusual events and the ripples they create.
AKA the story after the story.
I'm Rosa.
And I'm Angela.
And this is the Ripple Podcast.
Get Ripple, the bright new drink with that ring-a-ding flavor, Ripple.
And we're going.
Okay.
Set up. I think that's the fastest we've ever been set up.
I know. I'm a little, not prepared right now.
Well, and I'm a little nervous because last week's recording was such crap, the quality.
Wait, last week's?
Or
our episode.
Our
recent,
episode
yeah, I don't know what
we
happened with that. That was really weird. I think that's what happens when we do 2 episodes in a row and we're doing shots of rum.
And just...
I mean, we had fun.
It was a good episode. If you can get past the weird sound of it. So hopefully this one's better.
Yeah, but normally I plan on Rosa taking 30 minutes to
At
set
least.
up. And then I can prep my story a little bit more because I'm no help when it comes to that stuff. So, yeah. And now we're already recording and we've only been in the Podseum for not even 10 minutes. I'm a little scared.
I'm looking at the recording and there's little lines. So That's what we want to see.
All right. If you say so.
Whether it sounds good or not.
We'll find out.
This is a learning curve.
Yeah.
A process. An educational tutorial, if you will.
Are you teaching people now?
Or I'm learning.
You're the experiment.
The amount of YouTubed videos I've watched. YouTubed.
Do you have your story printed?
I do.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm first, you're first.
I think I'm first.
Yeah.
Because I did the, what was it called? Ectoplasm.
Oh,
last time.
Right. Okay.
Do you have any chit chat?
I have some chit chat. While we chit chat, I can also make you a drink because you said that you didn't have a drink.
No, I didn't have one this week.
I brought 2.
Okay.
But I didn't bring it in the containers. I don't want to say too much because it gives away.
Oh, are you doing a secret drink like I did last week?
Yes.
Oh, fun.
So hang on, let me grab it.
So I'll sip on it because I'm going first this week. So am I supposed to try to figure it out?
I mean, I'm not, you're going to see what part of it is, obviously.
Okay.
But I just don't want to tell you anything about it.
And does it relate directly to your story, or is it just the theme overall?
I'm not telling you anything.
Oh, all right, fine.
Yeah.
I'll have a lot to talk about while you're making this drink then.
Tell me about your week. How was your week?
My week was okay. It was Valentine's week.
Oh, right. I totally glossed over that little fact.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Valentine person.
Me either.
But we did get a pizza. That was going to be our special Valentine's treat.
Was it shaped in a heart?
No. I don't know if anybody does that around here anymore.
There's a place in Camarillo that does.
Me and Ed's used to, but they're not there. They're not there anymore.
Oh. I think De Amore, which kind of makes sense.
That makes sense.
I think they do it in Camarillo, but I don't.
Yeah, we did pizza and donuts. It's the first, actually no, it's the second year, I think, maybe, that we've done it, because when the tattoo shop opened up in Santa Paula, Roses and Rivets, they had a Valentine's special, flash sheet, and kind of on a whim a couple years ago, we decided to get matching Valentine tattoos, but they're not matching. So that's the good part. So if we break up, with, I can say it's just for my love of pizza.
Right.
Because I got a pizza in the shape of a heart, and Adam got a pink sprinkled donut in the shape of a heart. So we had pizza and donuts, and that was our...
That's cute.
Yeah.
Well, he got you the Fallon Taylor
yeah,
video.
He had to one-up me.
That was pretty rad.
I got him a pregnancy pillow for his gift.
What is that?
It's like a body pillow that you can shape.
Okay.
And I guess for pregnant people, they can put it around between their legs and under their belly or however.
For his back?
Yeah. Because Adam has a pinched nerve in his back. But it was whatever.
That's a thoughtful gift.
His was way more thoughtful than mine was.
Well, Nick and I did nothing. No card, no flowers, no candy, no anything. We went to Chick-fil-A for dinner.
Oh, that's great, though. I mean, I would be happy with that. There's
So,
nothing wrong with that
We
at all.
took Eden, and she got to play in the play area. And
Fun. She loves it there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's what I wanted. I just wanted to hang out and do nothing.
I have never done a Valentine dinner, like actually gone out, tried to go out, tried to get a reservation.
No. Well, I mean, if you're going to go to a nicer restaurant, a lot of the time they have a special menu.
Yeah, it's limited.
So you're only getting to pick like the chicken or fish.
Uh-huh.
And it's like triple the price.
Yep.
And they get you in and out because they want that table open.
Yep.
It's just not worth it. And I would much rather someone buy me a gift like spur of the moment because they thought of me or saw something that reminded them of me rather than being forced to do it on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I mean,
that's me.
To each their own. Some people love it. Some people love that stuff.
I have a friend that's like her favorite holiday.
Yeah.
She goes all out.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Whatever.
If that's your thing, that's cool. I mean, who knows? Like I said, I've never tried to go out on Valentine's, so I don't know. Maybe it's amazing. Let us know.
And
Listener
that was
out there.
That was Friday, right?
No, what? Yeah. That was Friday.
Right, because I went to San Luis on Saturday for a funeral.
Yeah.
And that was
You've had a couple of those in a short period of time.
Holy moly. This one was super unexpected.
Yeah.
Though. A high school friend, cancer, 2 kids.
Oh.
It was a rough funeral, but the four high school friends, we drove out there together, and one friend flew in from Maryland. And we had some good times laughing and remembering. So that's
I guess like that's
what she would have wanted.
The positive in a really, really, really awful situation is that you guys all got to get together.
It was. And we laughed. We had some great belly laughs, and that's exactly what Angie would have wanted. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't really know her. I remember her vaguely when you were in high school, and I do remember her being like one of your friends that I was like excited if she would come over, because she would always like run up and like tickle me and just like be super
fun.
Silly and like
loud and crazy and full of energy in life. Yeah. So she will definitely be missed, and with that, fuck cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. So that was and then today is a holiday. For Eden, at least.
Yeah, it took me like half the day to figure that out. And I was driving around, and I had to drive up to like Santa Barbara area today, and that's always a pain because there's a ton of traffic. And once I got there and I was driving around, I like saw all these people, and they're out and like jogging and playing in the parks, and I was just like, don't you guys have jobs? I was just mad.
You're all bitter.
Yeah, I was super bitter. And then I'm like, oh, it's a holiday, but it's not a holiday for me.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Eden had off school, so that was...
Did you guys do anything fun or just kind of hang out?
We cleaned the backyard, picked up dog poop,
that's a good
that
time.
kind of stuff. So, yeah, other than that, it was just a normal day. She goes back to school tomorrow. And life will resume as normal.
Yep.
But with that, anything else? Oh, so do you know what you're drinking? Because the drink is ready and in front of you.
Yeah, it's a Diet Coke and...
Well, you saw that. And I know neither of us are big soda drinkers, but that's...
I mean, something that's got quite a kick to it.
Did you mix it? Or did you just kind of swirl it? Because you might have got, like, all the other part of the top.
I don't know. Rum, maybe?
It's just a rum and diet. That's all it is.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm impressed with myself then that I was able to pick that up.
It's just a rum and diet.
Okay.
So that's drink 1 of the night. I told you.
Oh, shit.
I brought 2 drinks. Because, we normally have 2 drinks.
Freaking Monday night.
We always record on weeknights.
That's true. But I feel like once Wednesday comes around, I'm just like in a fuck it mood, so...
The hump day.
Yeah, but it's Monday. You know what? It's fine. It'll be a great time.
Totally. It always is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tell me a story.
Okay.
Oh, wait. First, our theme.
Yes. Our theme was mythical creatures. So it could be a cryptid. It could be a,
mythical.
Are all mythical creatures cryptids? Like, what's the definition of that?
Of a cryptid?
Yeah.
I don't know that word. I mean, I pretend like I know that word. Ask your Google, because my Siri is way over there.
So, cryptozoology, I had always assumed that it's like these mystery natural beings that are just out there, like Bigfoot or Yetis and things like the Loch Ness Monster. It's like,
Do they have to have a name? Like, they're famous? Well, probably.
No.
Like, would that make wouldn't like mermaids fall into that category?
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't have to be like the Yeti.
Right. No, yeah, it's not like an individual, but
Okay.
like a species that wasn't ever discovered. But I'm not sure if mine falls into that. So you'll have to decide. So let me read the dictionary definition thing here, and we'll decide if mine is a cryptid or if it isn't.
But our theme wasn't cryptid.
No. It was just mythical things.
Okay. Oh, good.
No.
Because I was like, oh shit,
No,
what is mine now? I don't even know.
used that word as an example, and then I realized I don't really know what that word means.
Okay, good, because I don't either.
An animal such as a Sasquatch or a Loch Ness Monster that has been claimed to exist but never proven to exist. Okay. All right. That's a pretty clear-cut definition. Then I think mine is a cryptid.
Wait.
What?
Read it again one more time so I can focus on it.
It's an animal such as a Sasquatch or a Loch Ness Monster that has been claimed to exist but never proven to exist.
So an animal.
Yeah.
Okay, so not like, oh, sorry if I just blew out everybody's eardrums. Wouldn't it be like the Blair Witch? I don't know why that came to mind.
Oh.
But because that's not an animal. But it's a...
Like witches and fairies and other like human-like things.
Fairies. Right.
I don't know. I mean, I like to believe that humans are animals. I don't think we should be like separated or above them, you know? Humans are animals. So that, yeah.
We're getting deep.
We are. And we've barely started drinking. I mean, aren't we all animals?
Isn't just the world made up of animals?
Maybe. The earth is animal poop.
One giant poop of animals?
I mean, all of the water has been through somebody's
anus?
No, not water. Well, maybe. But it's like we drink dinosaur pee. Do you ever think about that?
No, I've never thought about
Think
that.
About it.
No,
Think about it when you take a shower.
No.
Okay.
I have a great filtration system.
Well, I mean, it doesn't change the fact that it could have been dinosaur pee at one time.
No.
All right. On that note, let me tell you about, and I'm pretty sure you guessed that this is what I was going to do, the Billiwhack Goat Man.
Okay, the only reason I knew you were doing this is because we're on a Facebook page together.
Oh, you're on that page?
And you posted it. And it said, Angela posted
I didn't know you were in that group.
But
you don't live in Santa Paula. Get out of there.
But I work in Santa Paula.
Oh, I thought you were only in the other group.
So,
well,
and it's funny because you posted that and you didn't write like, hey, I'm doing research for a podcast.
Hell no, I'm not telling people. I'm scared.
So I didn't really put it together at the time. I really
thought I was thinking about.
I thought you really were driving through that area and.
Well, I really did work in that area last week.
Okay, tell me about this Billiwhack.
So, the Billiwhack Goat Man, also known as Billiwhack Monster, Chivo Man, and Billiwhack Beast, is... And I've always called him Billiwhack Goat Man. I don't know if you've ever heard of him from a different name.
I've never heard of him.
Really?
Ever.
Oh, wow. Okay. He is, surprise, a humanoid creature with goat characteristics. So here's a little description of him. He walks upright. He's covered in grayish white goat hair. Has curly horns and long claws. I don't know where the claws came from because he's supposed to be like goat plus man.
Yeah, those are hooves.
Yeah, no, he's got claws on his hands. He's like extremely ripped, muscular, strong, giant. Like he's abnormally tall.
Like a hardcore CrossFitter.
Yeah, and he just has a bad attitude. Just like mean. You don't want to mess with him.
Like a hardcore CrossFitter.
Maybe. He's not like the type of goat man you would want to do goat yoga with.
Oh,
yeah. Maybe he should do goat yoga then.
It would relax him a little bit.
Zen out a little bit. But anyway, the Billiwhack goat man is said to roam the hills of Santa Paula between Aliso and Wheeler Canyon.
Wait, I'm going to stop you again.
Yeah.
But every time you say Billiwhack, it reminds me of that nursery rhyme.
What one?
Is it knick-knack, patty... No.
Paddywhack, give a dog a bone?
Oh, I guess they don't say Billiwhack in that,
no,
do they?
Paddywhack.
Knick-knack, Billiwhack. Okay, never mind.
All right, so let me tell you about where he came from and how he got his name. So, a Switzerland-born, and I don't know if it's pronounced August or August. It's spelled August.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say August. I don't know why. Rubel served in the American Field Service in France from 1917 to 1919 as an ambulance driver. And in 1922, why can't I talk right now? In 1922, he came to Santa Paula to start a dairy, which he named the Billiwhack Dairy. This dairy was like top of the line. It was just state of the art. Everything was super advanced for its time. He spent more than $1 million building it.
What year was this?
And this is back in 1922.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
money. It's a lot of money now.
Right.
But so it was just, it had everything state of the art. Refrigeration plant. He had delivery trucks purchased. He had this, like, it's called a hammer mill, which was used for a silo. It like separates the silage, I guess. And it was housed in this unusual looking bunker like concrete building.
And where was this?
Aliso Canyon.
Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Huh.
Yeah, you can't see it from the road, but there is like a sign. It's not like super obvious, but there is a sign on the side of the road that says Billiwhack. It's still called the Billiwhack Farm or Billiwhack Dairy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever noticed that.
Yeah. So the Rubel family purchased a bull for their breeding stock, and it was like, again, the best of the best. It was from Burlwood stock, and his name was Prince Aggie.
Oh, that's a cute name.
They paid $110,000
for
this
bull.
Yeah, because he was going to be the top breeder and breed all of their dairy cows.
Oh my gosh,
and
how did they have so much money?
I don't know. I couldn't find that, but I mean, it's beside the point. They were rich and they were investing a lot into this business, and maybe it was all like loans and investments and stuff. But anyway, in 1925 is when they purchased him, and they only had him for 1 year, when he met his untimely death. And the family and the dairy was just like completely devastated, and they were forced to shut down in 1928.
How did he die?
He had twist gut, so kind of like colic, like his intestines got twisted and
couldn't untwist.
Right, yeah. So it was really sad. He actually had him taxidermied.
Oh,
yeah.
They loved him.
But yeah, they had to shut down, and it was like I said, it started in 1922. So in 1928, they're already closing their doors, and that's like after they put in this huge giant
Millions
investment.
of dollars.
So after the closure, Rubel and his wife Mary moved and raised their 5 children at Rancho. I always say this wrong. Camilos.
Camilos?
Yes, I had to take a second. Yeah. And maybe they just like raised cattle for meat or something after that, but they were done with the dairy by that time.
Okay. But they were still farming cattle of some sort?
Locally.
Okay.
And 1939, in response to World War II, the AFS was reactivated. And remember, that's what he originally worked in. Like he was an ambulance driver for the AFS.
Mm-hmm.
And Rubel volunteered to go back and drive ambulances to support Allied troops. Unfortunately, he was killed while saving others in North Africa in 1943. Which is like I mean, it's a pretty amazing life. It's really sad that like he didn't make it home to his family, but he went all over the place and did a lot of stuff. So, why am I giving you all of this background information? Well, because his connection with military services fueled the speculation that he did not, in fact, sell the dairy, but instead the concrete buildings were leased to the U.S. military to be a secret testing site for human experimentation.
Shut up.
Yeah, I can't believe you've never heard about this. I remember hearing about this like as a kid. I think Dad told me about it.
Well, Dad told us lots of creepy stories.
So urban legends connected Rebel to the Office of Strategic Services, or the OSS, which was the precursor to the Central Intelligence Agency. And if the legend is true, the OSS was using the underground rooms, which were probably built to be like refrigeration rooms, to have like a more controlled temperature, to conduct experiments that would hopefully create a line of super soldiers that would defeat Nazis.
What?
Yeah. Am I throwing like a lot of information at you right now?
I'm like, this is like Area 51 in our backyard.
Yeah. So it went from this like, oh, this nice like
farming story.
Farming family, and they were going to make it. And
like, yeah.
Crazy, right? Okay. Some of the testing that were rumored to happen were brainwashing, the use of various drugs on unsuspecting victims, and the study of disease weaponry.
Ew, that
sounds
scary.
Like a party, right? You know, there's people who are like speculating that this coronavirus thing is like a form of bioterrorism. It's mostly just Joe Rogan when he's really high, but still. And other inhumane practices like potentially mixing goat DNA with human DNA, right?
Yeah, okay.
What? Am I losing you now?
Well, I'm just like, okay, if I was going to create a superhuman Nazi fighter, I don't think goat would be my first choice.
Well, and what if, like, I don't know how advanced GMO'ing was back then, but imagine if they, like, mixed goat and human DNA, and instead of getting this, like, super ripped
goat man,
they got, like, this hairy dude with a pot belly that, like,
well, I
tried to climb on you and eat your clothes.
But if I ate avocado leaves, it would die.
I bet he had those weird, like, super creepy goat pupils that are sideways.
Oh, the slits versus the circles.
Yeah, those are creepy.
I love them. And then they have, what are those little, like, goatees?
Or the dangles, the little dangles that
the
they
wobbles,
have.
The two little
what
wobbly
are those things called? Those little dangly things that hang
but
out
I
of
used to play with Natalie's all the time.
We had a goat named Natalie.
She was the best.
She's a great goat. Okay. Now, if you know anything about goats, you know that they can be like little assholes.
Oh, yeah. They escape. You can't keep a goat in.
Goats are notorious for climbing on everything and escaping anything. And the CIA wasn't using their intelligence when they made the goat man because that sucker escaped the Billiwhack dairy. And he took off into the hills of Santa Paula, where he is still roaming today and tormenting teenagers because he just, he can't handle those teenagers. And I'm with him on that. So, just to interject real quick, I had always heard about, like, that dairy being used as a military bunker. Just growing up. I don't know why. I just, like... And
did you believe it?
Yeah.
It was a fact. Totally,
like, yeah, it was, okay, yeah, this was used as, like, I don't know, an armory or ammo.
It started out as a dairy, but then it turned into some military
I couldn't verify that anywhere on the internet.
People know that.
Yeah, it's just, like, a rumor. Like, it's just a known thing that...
Did anyone comment on your post on Facebook about it?
I have those in here. Okay. I'll get to them. Okay. So here's a few things that the Billiwhack Goat Man has been blamed for. He has been known to pick up and throw boulders at cars that pass by.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Talk about, you're right, anger issues.
50-pound boulders that he's also pounded on the hoods of vehicles and has left them dented, which, can you imagine, like, being a teenager and
making out in the backseat?
Mom, it was the goat man. The goat man dented the car.
But he had, like, claws for hands and he had slits for eyes.
He just rammed it. In the 50s, a 9-year-old boy reported being attacked and clawed by the goat man, and this was in Aliso Canyon. Also in the 50s, there was a group of teens that were sneaking into an abandoned bus near the creek in Aliso, and I guess they all met up there to drink a bunch of beers one night, and they got together, and they're sitting back and drinking, and the sun went down, and apparently they just, like, all of a sudden something just slammed into this abandoned van and just kept hitting it, like, repeatedly, and they're like, it was like a goat that was just slamming
its head into the bus.
And they were all freaked out. But what I don't understand about the story is, like, was this a windowless van that they couldn't, like, peek out the window and see what it was?
Maybe it was dark.
I guess so. Yeah.
And if you're out in the canyon, there's no streetlights.
That's very true. And maybe you would want to hide from it, too. So, anyway, after it was, like, rammed, and they waited for about, like, 10 minutes or so, and one of the guys had to pee. So he stepped outside to pee, and then he heard, like, hooves, like, clattering, running towards him, and he jumps back in the van. And then again, the van was just, like, rammed, and it was, like, super violent. And,
wow.
Yeah. So then, again, they waited for a while, and then...
Like, I just peed in a cup at that point.
Yeah. Eventually, they all got out, and they took off running. I might have just, like, tripped somebody on the way.
I wonder if if it was dark, but I wonder if they saw, like, footprints. What the footprints look like.
They probably didn't want to wait around for that. They probably just wanted to book it out of there. No
slamming.
time for investigation. In 1964, hikers in the area reported being terrorized by the goat man for several hours. And that made it into the LA Times. It was that serious.
Well, really?
Yeah.
When was that?
1964.
Okay. Huh. 20, 30, 40, 50. Wait.
Are you going to math right now?
I was trying to. But if this goat man started in the 20s?
Yeah, probably like late 20s, early 30s. Are you wondering if he's still alive?
Well, he'd be like 100 years old.
Maybe there was multiple goat people, and they had goat
Babies,
children.
Kids?
Goat kids. I don't know.
Or maybe he has something that makes him live a lot longer. Because goats don't live that long.
I don't know.
Goats
He's a
don't
super
have a
goat.
super long lifespan.
He's a super goat.
All right.
And then, like I said, well, like you pointed out, I did go on Facebook, and I went on a local Santa Paula group, and I asked if anybody had any experiences with the goat man. And let me read you a couple stories. So this is one person's quote. When I was in high school, we used to call him Chivo Man, LOL. But lol. But I personally can say I may have seen him in Wheeler Canyon, which is the neighboring canyon. So apparently the ghost man has he nests. He has a nest in the mountain
Ghosts don't
range.
live in nests.
This one does.
Okay.
He's just way too big for a barn.
Because a nest is so much bigger than a barn.
You can build a really big nest. Okay. So back to the quote. I went up to the haunted bus stop. Side note, there's a haunted bus stop in Wheeler Canyon.
Do you know that?
Yeah, I do know.
Stop?
Yeah, there's ghost children there.
Oh, jeez.
And they put their grimy little fingerprints all over your car.
Oh, that's creepy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he went to the haunted bus stop years ago in the dead of night, and it scared the crap out of him by shaking a nearby fence super violently. I turned only to see his silhouette. Needless to say, I didn't stick around to see any more. Lol. I peeled out of the area like a madman, running from the cops. So that was his quote. Other people said that they had seen him running across Aliso Canyon, like when they're driving up the canyon. And people also said that they had, like, parked along Aliso Canyon to, like, you know, be outside, out in the sticks at night, and they've been chased off by him. And, you know, they proceed to pee their pants on the drive home, I'm sure. And then here are some other fun things that I found. There's an article, and this was the same article that talked about the hikers in 1964. They had interviewed a neighboring landowner, and she said that she had scared off more than 43 monster-seeking kids with her shotgun to keep them from trespassing on her land.
They're all looking for the goat man.
Yeah. So, and it's kind of funny because, like I said, when I was working on the ranch last week, I worked for a family who I could totally see the matriarch of that family being
Just
this, like,
pulling out the shotgun.
she is just like pure grit and she doesn't take shit from anyone, and I could totally
Get
see
off
her
my
being
land.
that person who would, yeah. And then there's other property owners who said that they had like set up little sniper stations and they would shoot rock salt towards trespassers.
Oh my gosh.
This was back in the 60s. I mean,
sure. People
that was
were a little
the thing
more
to do.
trigger happy.
Because I guess it was like a super popular thing, and people still do go out there. And that was going to be my ripple. So initially, like, I had this idea. I'm like, oh, I'm going to talk about all kinds of crazy tests that the military has done on soldiers. Like, they've done all kinds of LSD trials, and I just like dig deep into that. But that rabbit hole was just way
Too big.
deep for me to get into right now, and I kind of wanted to keep it a little like lighter, you know,
Local and light.
so I have a very short little ripple, which I told you it's not really a ripple, but it's more like a public service announcement. Because when I was researching these stories, I went on like YouTube, of course, all kinds of videos come up, and there's a bunch of ghost hunters or supernatural hunters, whatever you want to call them, who think that like they're doing a documentary so they can just trollop all over everyone's property.
Sure.
And having worked in the agriculture industry, it's kind of messed up. Like, people were just like trampling over sprinklers, and like people have to go out there and fix that. And just because it's not necessarily somebody's front yard, it is still their private property and that's their business. And like, maybe just like stay on the road if you're gonna go searching for goat people.
Goat people.
Maybe bring some carrots or like, you know, some grain and call out the goat man.
Don't steal
But,
avocados just
yeah.
because they...
And like some of them, they're, you know, going through the ranch and they see the Billiwhack sign and they start walking up the road and they point the camera like right at the no trespassing sign. It's like, come on, guys.
Doesn't get
I
any
get
more.
you're trying to have fun. But like, have a little bit of respect. Don't be a dick. So I found this quote. It's not really a quote, but Billiwhack. Did you notice, like, I always thought like that was like a family name or something, but the family's name wasn't Billiwhack, it was Rabal.
Right.
So I found this one article
Where it comes from.
where the name of Billiwhack comes from, and I thought it was very fitting for my little PSA. So Billiwhack is a term meaning your thing. It's like, it's where you hang your hat. This is my thing. This is my place. Not something you're... Oh, wait. Sorry. I read that wrong. So if something is not in your Billiwhack, it's not your thing, not your place. It's not something you're comfortable with. Conversely, if something is your Billiwhack, it is your place. It's your physical location. It is your home and what you're comfortable with. So stay off their Billiwhack. That's my PSA.
I like that word.
It's pretty cool, huh? I guess it was a military term, and that's where he got it.
Okay.
So it was like used back in World War One.
This is my Billiwhack. This is
Yeah.
my property.
Is that a dumb ripple?
No, it's interesting.
Okay.
I would like to go and maybe we should record an episode in my car in front of the Billiwhack Ranch
Yeah.
one day. And maybe he'll come and see us.
Maybe.
No, I liked it. It was good. And I think that's a good thing to remember, just respecting other people's property. I mean, how many times have we seen people, just because there's not a fence around a ranch, that means you can go and collect lemons or truckfuls of avocados.
Yeah. Don't be a dick, people.
And if you want something, hey, how about knock on a door and ask?
Right. Or the people who think that they can just like dump trash on the side of the road.
Oh,
they're
couches,
too lazy to...
TVs.
Hey, when I was in college, we had that nasty-ass IKEA couch that you had. It came from you, and it was handed down from somebody else who gave it to you. So it had been, like, through...
4 or 5
like,
homes.
4 or 5 homes. By the time I moved out of the apartment, I was just, like, done with it. But I I took a saw, I broke that motherfucker to pieces, and I threw it in our apartment dumpster. I didn't drive it out and dump it off the side of the road somewhere just because.
Hey, and that goes for dogs as well. Don't go and dump your dog on some property.
Yeah, you're a real asshole if you do something like that.
There's a special place in hell for you.
Yeah.
Because that's the worst. I mean, I have one of the best dogs because some asshole did that. But,
I mean, he could have been Billiwhack Goatman dinner if you didn't.
Or he could have been squished by some car driving too fast.
That's very true.
He's rad. Good job. I
Thank
like your
you.
Billiwhack story. I'm a little disappointed in the amount of drink you have finished.
I had to tell my story.
All right, well, you need to finish that because I have drink number 2 coming up with my story.
Well, since I don't really have to talk that much, I can go ahead and pound my drink.
Okay, the ice is starting to melt in this, so I'll start this. And
what?
hand me another glass, and I'll make you another
Here, I'll
drink.
pound it really quick.
Okay. That's my sister, pounding her drink.
Oh, it's really cold. I have brain freeze. I'm sorry if you hear my gurgle noises on the microphone.
A little bit more.
It's just AMSR.
You're
Wait,
almost there.
Is that the acronym?
AMSR.
AMSR?
What are you trying to say to me?
AMSR?
What language are you speaking?
You don't know about that? Like the people who like to listen to weird sounds because it's like they find them relaxing, so they'll go on YouTube and like listen to people brushing their hair.
No.
People whispering.
Oh, that is a creepy sound.
Let me tell you a story about the Billiwhack Goat Man. And they just like an entire video all like that.
No, and people like to listen to people drinking?
Yeah. Come on, get with the times.
How about crunching ice?
Probably.
No. AMSR.
I don't know if it's what it stands for, or if those are the correct letters.
But that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
People brushing their hair, there's a sound
Mm-hmm.
that's associated with that.
Yeah. They like it.
I'm learning so much tonight.
That's what all the cool kids do.
Okay. Those are all melted ice cubes now.
I am sweating.
Because I made your drink nice and strong. Okay. So, again, you don't know what you're drinking. So
You have a mystery green bottle they just popped that probably had like ginger ale or something in it before.
Originally,
Homebrew?
it had homebrew in it. This is from the beer
I'm
competition.
scared.
But
Oh, that's a weird color.
that's like someone with a kidney infection.
Oh, yeah. That's somebody severely dehydrated. It's kind of
Yellowish,
reddish,
orangish.
yellowish,
Okay.
urine looking.
Taste it and tell me if you can identify what's in it this time.
It smells like ginger ale. It's ginger and... is there alcohol in it?
There is.
I don't know. All I taste is the ginger.
It's very strong ginger.
It's good. Yeah, I love
beer.
I love ginger with a bite.
It's ginger beer and rum.
Oh, rum again.
So
Okay.
we have rum again, and it's a special rum.
Is it spiced rum?
By the way, you didn't give your sources.
Oh, yeah. I do this every time. They're at the top of my page, and I just went right over them. Where'd that page go? Okay. So I used scvhistory.com, which is Santa Clarita Valley, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Weird California and Mysterious Universe.
Okay. I'll
Sorry.
start with mine. No, I just wanted to make sure you got yours in there. I did anomalyinfo.com, petapixel.com, ocean.si.edu, and then I watched a couple YouTube videos. So, I'm going to first give you a little history and oceanography.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going under the sea.
This mermaids.
So, the giant squid and the colossal squid are two different cephalopods. And the giant squid can measure up to 43 feet in length.
Wow.
And the colossal squid actually holds the title of the largest living invertebrate at up to 49 feet long.
Holy shit.
That's huge, right? The largest one weighed over 1,000 pounds.
Oh my god. It's like a horse.
However, there are only about 500 recorded measurements of these squid, which isn't a lot if you consider like the size of the ocean. And
it's pretty big.
So there's probably some that are way huger than that. Both the giant squid and the colossal squid, they live in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean, making finding and observing them in their natural habitat really difficult. And the one... Sorry, that was my phone. I thought I turned it on silent. That's all right. Mine's going to go off at 8 o'clock. Oh, I have 50 minutes. I'm good. Thing on? So, the first capture of one of these creatures wasn't until 2006. And when I mean capture, I mean like video image capture.
Oh, good. They didn't calamari him.
Not this one.
That'd be so much calamari.
I would feed a whole village. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to talk a little bit more on that in a little bit. But, so now we know a little bit about the colossal squid and about the giant squid. But I am going to tell you about the Kraken.
Is that the rum?
Yeah, it's Kraken.
Oh, I wouldn't have even thought about that. Such a cool one. Okay, I'm excited.
Okay, good. So the Kraken is a much larger, much more aggressive and dangerous version of these squids. So according to stories passed on from sailors, a huge, multiple-armed sea creature could stretch out and reach to the top of a sailing ship's main mast. This creature would attack ships by wrapping its long arms around the hull and then capsizing the ship. The people on board would drown or be eaten by the monster.
Oh, he eats them. I was wondering, like, what does he want from this ship? Is he just playing with it, or
he thinks it's a little toy?
He wants to eat the sailors?
He's eating, and the ship. I mean...
Oh, he's eating the ship.
He eats a lot. He eats a lot. He feasts, and I'm going to tell you about that, about his eating habits. So according to legends, the Kraken would cause great danger to ships because of the disturbance that it made to the water, other than just grabbing the ship and pulling it down. So while it's coming to the surface or descending back down, it creates like this whirlpool effect.
Oh, yeah.
So it sucks like a toilet, anything in that area around. And they said that, you know, if you're out, you know, on a fishing boat and you're catching lots and lots of fish, just all of a sudden to be careful for the Kraken, because the reason that the fish are all being caught in those nets is because the Kraken is scaring them up. So, stories about this monster, they seem to date back to the 12th century and usually originate from Norway. And the first recorded written mention was by King Severa, Severa, from Norway in 1180. And that was like he wrote about it. And then in 1555, Elias Magnus, he wrote about a sea creature, and it was with, quote, sharp and long horns.
It had horns?
Well, and I'm going to stop that quote for a second. But a few authors wrote that this creature had horns, and that what some people speculate is that maybe the arms of the Kraken were up towards its head. Oh. So it looked like horns. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
And so sharp and long horns round about, and a tree root up by roots. Which I don't really understand that part, but then it says,
like he uprooted a tree? Like he pulled... Is there trees in the ocean?
A tree root up by the roots. I guess like pulling a tree up and all the roots are hanging.
And that's...
Like all its
those
arms.
Were the horns.
And arms.
But those were arms. They weren't really horns, they were arms. Look at us deciphering historical text.
From 1555. They are 10 or 12 cubits long, very black.
What the hell is a cubit?
Some form of measurement.
Is it a lot of them?
Yeah, it sounds big. And very black with huge eyes. And by the 18th century, the Kraken would start showing up in drawings, and it would show up looking like a giant, many-armed cephalopod. So like an octopus or a squid. So these are like stories that are are just kind of, they're reinstating what the other previous people had said. Like,
okay.
it's, it's got a bunch of arms, it's black or dark.
Horny arms.
Yeah. So in 1751 now, there's this guy named Eric Pontoppidan. Sure. And he was the Bishop of Bergen, and he wrote and published The Natural History of Norway. And what he did, he would speak with fishermen who had been out in the ocean and had said that they had encounters with the Kraken. So he's like doing interviews with them.
That was going to be my next question. If any survivors had actually seen him.
Yeah, so...
And is he a him? Is it like one, or do they know? Or is there a bunch of them?
I think there's multiple, from what it sounds like. There's multiple Kraken. It's not like... That's why I remember I was asking, like, oh, is it just like the one, person or animal?
I mean, who knows how many Loch Ness monsters there are.
Right. Nessie might have some friends.
Or squatches.
So, Eric Pontoppidan,
okay.
He never himself saw one because of how, deep into the sea he believed they lived. But based on the research and interviews that he was conducting, he believed that others in the future would benefit from the information he was collecting. So his goal was kind of to help like future investigators discover more about the Kraken. So he's interviewing all these fishermen and taking these notes down, and he's publishing this book, The Natural History of Norway. And he knows he himself is not going to discover this creature, but he thinks that the research he's doing is going to help someone else discover it. And this is back in 1751.
That's a long, long time ago.
Right? So his theory was that the Kraken would eat, this is kind of what we were saying, for several months, just like binge. And then he would poop for months and months.
Oh. So, wait, where did that theory come from?
I don't know, but this is one of his theories. And then...
Was it because he went away for a while?
Maybe.
He just had to take a real
giant
big
poop. So this poop that the Kraken would...
My God, I love this story.
Dispense. It would like thicken and discolor the water around it.
Is that why there's black tar in the ocean water?
Maybe. Well, no, probably not, because it would attract the fish to feed on it. So he poops this giant, massive poop, and like schools and schools of fish come and eat it. And then the Kraken would hide deep in the sea and wait for a big school of fish to come, and then he would swim upwards and just demolish that whole swarm of fish. No,
but then he's eating his poop too.
Well, that's gross, but yeah. So that would just kind of continue that process. He would just binge and poop and eat the fish eating his poop. So, like we were talking about before, there's reports of squid attacking ships. However, not Kraken. This is like actual like squid. Like
is Kraken a squid or an octopus?
The Kraken, I don't know. I mean, they haven't found it. They think that people think it's a squid, like a colossal squid. Okay. Like bigger than a colossal squid. And there's been actual, like, historical reports of colossal or giant squid possibly attacking ships. However, like, that squid usually would end up in the ship's propeller. So I don't really...
Oh, no.
I know. Sad.
Just coming up to say hi.
And I don't really know... That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really know if this squid is necessarily attacking the ship. But, this kind of, like, feeds the fire for more, like, Kraken stories attempting to take down ships. And they do say that... Okay, so... The sperm whale is like the natural predator of a giant squid.
Oh, really?
So maybe the squid thinks like these ships were a sperm whale and it was trying to, fend it off. Maybe that's why it was attacking it.
I would think you would want to go away.
Swim away rather than go towards. Probably makes sense.
I'm wondering if they were like chumming the water or something.
And they're just coming up to eat.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's my theory.
But pieces of the squid have been found in whales' bellies. And it's crazy because I was looking at pictures and there'd be like little circular sucker scars around sperm whale's mouth from the tentacles, like trying to like
so they're
fight
fighting
its way out, or like the sperm whale grabs part of it and then, but it's, arms are out.
I wish you could see Rosa's arm movements right now.
I'm like giving a pantomime.
And so these whales, were they like washed up?
Well, the ones that they found in the bellies, so either they were killed on purpose for science research or whatever reason, or they were washed up.
And they had tentacle scars,
Mm-hmm.
battle wounds.
Right, and this is like a common thing. So they know that the sperm whale is like the main natural predator of the giant squid. So another publication assisted with the public misconception of the Kraken as being a giant squid was published in 1870, which is probably one that you heard of, was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. And he wrote about like this submarine adventure, and a lot of his words and stories in that book talked about the Kraken and just, the ship being attacked by a giant squid. And then have you heard the term release the Kraken? Release the Kraken!
No.
They used it on like the Kraken rum commercials, but it comes from the movie Clash of the Titans.
Oh.
Remember that it was in like the 80s, maybe 1980? And Dad was like a big fan of it. He really loved that movie. And then they just re-released another version, an updated version of it, maybe a few years ago. And both versions kept that line in the movie.
Wait, what happens though? Like what does releasing the Kraken mean?
To go and fight.
Oh,
yeah. It's like
they don't actually have their own personal giant squid.
No, they do.
Really?
Yes. No, they do. It's like
what is this movie?
You have never seen Clash of the Titans?
No.
Watch the original. It's fantastic.
Really?
It's so good.
Okay, that's saying something coming from you because you have the attention span of a goldfish.
Right. No, I think because I grew up watching this movie, but there's a Medusa in it.
Oh,
There's a little owl that's made out of like metal named Boo Boo. I watched this movie a million times.
Sounds a little familiar now.
It's super, like, the graphics and whatever are super cheesy. I haven't seen the new version, the one that they re-released, but the original is fantastic. But there's that line in there that goes, "Release the Kraken!"
And then what happens when they do that?
It's kind of like sicking the Kraken on some people.
So there's people out in the ocean or something and
they have to go and get it. Yeah, watch it.
Okay.
Homework. So yeah, the Kraken has shown up in a lot of movies, television shows, a ton of comic books and games, and they all have the same like giant squid attacking ships and just, grabbing them and pulling them into the ocean, kind of like the Jules Verne one, which I am kind of embarrassed to say I've never seen 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I have seen that, but I don't remember it, so I don't know if it really counts.
Yeah, I don't know it. And then it was also in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean.
I was going to ask that.
I don't remember that part.
I vaguely do. I remember going to see that movie. It was I think it was like the third one. And it was so long. I think I fell asleep twice in that movie. But I do remember some big squid-like creature.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever saw that one.
I can't really help you out on that one.
Okay, but apparently it's in the most recent Pirates of the Caribbean
movie.
the
most recent one. Okay.
Well, whenever that article was published.
I don't know. How many are there?
No clue.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they're good.
They are good, but I get them. They all
long.
blur together for me too.
True.
So, like I was talking about in the very beginning, the giant squid are super difficult to capture on video or camera. because of how deep and dark the ocean is where they live. But in 2016, scientists released a video of a giant squid in the waters of the United States. So this is where my ripple begins. So there's a CNN report there were these scientists, and they were funded by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Office of Ocean Exploration and Research.
Wow.
Got all that?
Those are smart people.
And they were on a 2-week mission in the Gulf of Mexico, about 100 miles off the coast of Louisiana and Alabama, when they made this historic discovery. And that's a direct quote, because I was not going to try to shorten their title. So they used a special camera, and they called it Medusa, which I thought was rad.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it had, like, a, quote, electric jellyfish on it that is supposed to attract these sea animals that are super, almost like alien-like, because we don't know anything about them because they're so deep in the ocean.
So they have a decoy.
Total. And it was actually the same type of system that Dr. Eddie Witter, and she was also a team member, used when she captured the first ever video of a giant squid off the coast.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. I don't know. But that was a weird sound.
Anyway, sorry.
So in 2012, she was the first person to ever capture a video of the giant squid. But that was in Japan. So in 2016 was when the first one in the U.S. was captured.
Did you watch it? Is it online?
Yeah, I'll show it to you. It's fun. It's super short, and it's very
just, swim by
grainy, because it's so dark. There's no light that
far
into the
and
ocean.
There's the strangest creatures.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're like aliens.
Yes,
They're
really
like
is.
aliens under the water.
Totally is.
So when searching for the giant squid, they deployed Medusa just 5 times. And Medusa would record for 24 hours at a time at a depth of 2,460 feet.
Wait, so they found this thing in 5 days?
Right.
That's scary.
Because that means there's lot of them.
There's probably a lot of them. What are the chances?
And that only 500 have ever been, caught and recorded for size. So when they reviewed the footage, they realized that they had captured the image of a 10-foot-long juvenile giant squid. And then this is a quote from Dr. Nathan Robinson when they saw it. And Dr. Nathan goes, "I started to see a tentacle and I got more and more excited. And then when the tentacles pulled back, there aren't words to describe it."
Oh my God, I love him.
He's just, you could just, tell how excited he is to have caught this, almost mythical creature.
It is a
on
mythical
a video.
creature.
So, and then another person had said, and this is how I'm going to end this one, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. But she says that we know less about the oceans and what live in our own planet than we do about our own solar system.
That's really interesting.
I was like, whoa, that's heavy. That's deep.
Yeah, because have you ever watched any of those PBS underwater or even Planet Earth? Deep. There's some weird,
crazy
Dr. Seuss looking funky critters down there.
Swimming around.
Like the ones that have their own little lanterns.
Yeah. I
love it.
So I actually printed out a picture for you. And there's this guy, his name is Dr. Clyde Roper, and he is another one that is just so, I read his whole story. He's just so passionate about these squids, and his love of them dates back, to when he was young and was taking an oceanography class, and they dissected a sperm whale, and he said he climbed in I think he said 3 of the sperm whale's stomachs, hoping that there was going to be a giant squid, but he's never actually found one. But here's a picture of him for size.
Holy shit.
So describe what you're seeing.
Wow. So he's laying down. he has his, like, he's completely flat on his back, and he has his hands above his head, like, trying to make himself as long as possible. And this thing is, like, at, like, probably twice. So say he's, like, 6 feet. This thing is probably, like, 12 feet long.
Isn't that cool?
That is crazy.
But look how happy he looks next to this dead squid.
That's so... Wow.
So
that looks like something from another planet.
Totally. 100%.
Man.
So that is my story of the Kraken.
That's awesome.
Right? And you're drinking Kraken rum.
Yeah. I'm going to think about that differently now. I love their label. It's really cool.
Oh, it's super cool. And... You know, I should have paid more attention to the label, but I kind of think theirs is an octopus rather than a squid.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an octopus,
mm-hmm.
but it's super cool looking. Wow, I love that. I love how passionate they are about their oceanography.
Yeah.
I took oceanography in high school.
I did too. I really liked that class.
Oh, I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, I had Mr. Haynes.
Oh, I didn't.
And I had it right after nutrition class, and I started off on a bad foot. So within the first week, I had my own little desk off to the side away from everybody else because I was talking in class.
And because you're Rosa's sister.
And because I'm Rosa's sister. And because I'm Eric's sister. So I had both of those reputations to follow. But, so right after nutrition, it was like around 10 o'clock. And Mr. Haynes loved his Jerry Springer.
No.
So we watched Jerry Springer like
in class.
Yeah. So like as soon as we got in, he would like give us some sort of assignment, and he would heat up his frozen breakfast sandwich in his microwave that he had in the classroom and watch Jerry Springer while we worked on our assignment for like the first 30 minutes of class.
No way. And this is why tenure should not exist.
He was awful.
And this is coming from a
he
teacher.
Really was.
I can say that. I feel like I can say that tenure should not exist. I'm okay with that. Write me your hate letters, but I'm a teacher. Yeah, I can say that.
That's what I remember more than anything else in that class.
I remember Mr. Wolf, kind of the same thing.
He loved me.
Oh, he put his hand in the back of my pants in my pocket.
I don't mean to laugh at that. That's really super inappropriate. It really is.
It doesn't surprise you, right?
It does not. Wolf? That's, yeah.
But same thing, he'd put an assignment on the board and tell us to get to work, and he watched the OJ trial because that's when the OJ trial was going on. So he had it. He actually, I will say, he did turn it so we could watch as well.
I mean,
so at least he had that going for us. But yeah, same thing. He did not teach.
And what do you remember more of, the OJ trial or Algebra 2?
100% the OJ trial, because I barely passed that algebra class. I think, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. I think the reason I passed that class is because he put his hand in my back pocket.
Oh, well, you know.
Oh, no. You know me doing in math. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Math is rough. I didn't do well in that class either. Oh, man. Rio Mesa. Good times.
Right? Oh, shoot. We didn't put our new topics in the basket.
Oh, should we do that really quick? Should we pause and do that, or should we just go for it?
No, let's just go with what we have in the basket, because we have a ton in there.
We really do.
And then we'll just add our new topics.
And listener, if you have any topic ideas, any random thing, we don't have any sort of restrictions. We're free
My nieces are loyal listeners.
And there was an engagement.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That was so cute. I saw all the pictures. You. It was just a few days ago. It wasn't Valentine's
Which I'm going to give him 100% credit for.
Yes.
He did not propose on Valentine's Day.
I love that. Yeah, but it was so cute.
His name is Eddie and Bree.
Did you meet him while you were there?
Yeah, he's very nice. He's a very sweet man.
I mean, I don't even know him, but I approved because he included the puppers.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that the two doggies were dressed up as a bride and a groom?
I love it.
I know. He's rad. And he's a big animal person himself. So I wish them many, many years of love and happiness. Okay, so next week when we meet, we are going to be talking about... Oh, this will be interesting. Big box crimes.
Oh, wait, you wrote that one.
I did. This is my writing.
So tell me what that means.
So, like, crimes that included, like, a big box store. So, Starbucks, Target.
Oh.
Something where, you know, like a chain.
Yeah. Okay.
We might have to really dig for some research on this. This might be difficult.
I don't know. That's interesting, though. I like that.
So we'll have to... Maybe it just took place at a Vaughn's.
I mean, a lot of these places have a lot of controversy that they try to hide.
Right.
So...
eBay. Would that be considered a big box?
Sure.
Online stuff?
Yeah. Amazon. Yeah, that'll be really interesting. I don't have anything in mind.
I don't either. Nothing.
But we'll find it.
Cool. Okay. So
That'll be fun.
that'll be it. We'll have to do some work on that one. But until next week, don't forget to be a fountain
And not a drain.
Bye-bye.
Bye.